Gmail ninja moves from Merlin Mann today on Call for Help.
Those ninja moves. Hey, welcome to Call for Help. I'm Leo Laporte. This is the show where we help you understand technology, use technology, put it to work for you, master it instead of having it master you. This is episode 451. I hope we don't burst into flame. That's a little joke there, a little sci-fi. Never mind. Callie Lewis is here, very kind to laugh, even though she has no idea what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Fahrenheit 451, Ray Bradbury, never mind. It's good to see you again.
You too.
From the fabulous podcast geekbrief.tv on the Pod Show Podcast Network. We call it a podcast?
Netcast, apparently.
I think we call it a netcast, young lady. I think we do. Callie's been very gracious filling in this month, and it's really been fun having you here. You're just wonderful, and
Thanks.
You've got the ninja moves. I love that.
I'm going to go up against the Ask a Ninja guys.
You should.
I can beat them.
You should.
I'm
you could
putting
beat
a
them.
call out right now.
Yeah? We'll call Kent Nichols. We'll get him in here.
Okay.
Although he never admits to being the ninja. We're not sure if it's Kent or his partner who exactly is in the suit, because all you see is there. We're talking about another video podcast. It's actually really, really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wonderful. You're going to talk about software for recording?
Yeah, some software for recording a video podcast today, and we've got some.
This is stuff
some
you
others.
use?
Yeah, one is actually I'm going to show a Windows and a Mac version.
Okay.
So the
and
one
I know
use.
you and Neil are Macies.
Macs.
Yeah.
So what it's called is Video Q Pro.
Okay.
Very easy, very inexpensive,
Okay.
very good.
Oh, neat.
It does everything you need.
And this is so you use it for Geek Brief. So that's
Absolutely.
pretty good recommendation. And then
Yeah.
you have a Windows version for people
And
who
then
are
a Windows version,
stuck
right.
with Windows.
Yes, those poor people. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we shouldn't diss them too much. If you're an Excel user, you're going to want to stick around for
Yes.
Bill Jelen. Mr. Excel is here. Isn't he great?
He
This is your
is.
first time meeting Mr. Excel.
Yes, it is.
He brought calendars for everybody.
Ooh, I didn't get one.
You'll get one, believe me. Usually he brings specially imprinted chocolates. But this year, almost the end of the year, calendar time. Here, we got one? It's a Mr. Excel calendar.
Ooh,
Now,
cool.
what are these pictures of his home in Minneapolis? What is
Ontario.
Ontario? You're kidding.
For his Canadian friends.
This is his special Canadian edition. That's wonderful. Oh, it does say that right on his front.
Scenes of Ontario.
No. He's going to talk about teachers using Excel to track grades.
Nice.
Remember that scene in War Games where he goes and he changes the grades
Yeah.
from F to an A? Can't do it with Excel. Mr. Excel shows you how. And Merlin Mann, now that's the ninja, the email ninja. He is my personal guru. He saved me in my email hell. You may want to watch this carefully.
Oh,
you know about
I
Text
definitely will be.
Expander
Yes.
that I told you about?
Yes, and
he
I use
told
that.
me about.
Oh,
so this is the guy.
he's really my hero, not
He-
you. Oh.
Okay, all right.
No, you
all
are,
right.
Leo,
Slow
you are.
down there, Missy. He is actually, he's all of our heroes. He's really an email
He's great.
wizard. Wait a minute. I hear the phone ringing. Maybe we better answer a call here.
I think we have somebody on the webcam. His name is Fern from North Bay, Ontario.
Hello, Fern. Hello, Fern. How are you today?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I couldn't be better. What can we do for you today?
Well, you must remember me from the flight simulator thing, but
I
this
do.
is not about flight simulator.
All right.
This is after your enthusiasm and Marcel Gagne's enthusiasm. I decided to give Linux a try,
Okay.
and it's driving me insane.
Hey, you're honest, and I like that. It's driving
Well,
you nuts, huh?
Not quite, because I'm a Windows guy, and this is sort of a sideline here
Right.
for me.
Well, it must be more than just the fact that Marcel and I are singing its praises that made you try Linux. What are you trying to do? Are you just interested in seeing what it is, or?
The appeal to it is this openness and is
I
this
agree.
being free and all that.
I agree.
I have the feeling this is its shortcoming as well, because there's no ownership. it's owned by the people. That is not always a good thing.
Well, you know, I might disagree with you on that. I don't think that is the shortcoming of open source. In fact, I think in many ways that's really its strength, is that people who write open source software are writing it for themselves, and they actually, I think, do a better job. If you think about it this way, who's going to do a better job of an operating system? Thousands of committed engineers who are writing programs and software that they're going to be using day in, day out themselves, or some people who are paid to sit down and do it because it's their job. I think ultimately open source, you know, the model is very good. What problem are you having with it?
Well, the problem is that it doesn't recognize my sound hardware.
Now that's
everything else works, and I was amazed. I was online in 2 minutes. I was really surprised with the Ubuntu.
Right. I love Ubuntu, but that's where it falls down. You have hit on the kind of the flaw in open source. People are writing software for themselves. Well, if they don't, you know, when Microsoft creates an operating system, they create drivers, or they get the manufacturers to create drivers for all the hardware possible. Now, if I am a manufacturer, I make the Creative Labs sound cards, am I going to make sure there's a Windows driver? You bet your boots I am, right? That's my big market.
Well, but the funny thing, Leo, is that my hardware is listed in the ALSA side.
I understand, but it's not written by the manufacturer. There's the problem. The manufacturers do not currently, some do. NVIDIA does. Some do, and I applaud them, but most manufacturers don't write drivers. So and here's the problem. The drivers are written by end users, somebody who has that card, who writes his own driver. Often, I'm sad to say, without any support at all from the hardware manufacturer.
Yeah.
As time goes by, and I think it's happening already, more and more hardware manufacturers are going to say, we better support Linux, because this is a bigger and bigger part of our business. What is your your sound card, and which one is it not supporting? Is it?
It's called. This is a laptop, and it's called NeoMagic.
Okay.
NM2200.
Enough said. Here's the problem. First of all, laptops are more difficult than desktops because most of the hardware in laptops are specially designed just for that laptop. This is a website you're going to find very useful. It's linux-laptop.net. Linux-laptop.net. It's the Linux on Laptops site. In fact, if you Google Linux on laptops, you'll find it also.
Okay.
And you see here, it's by manufacturer. So you said you have an HP laptop. They literally go through each different model of it, and they recommend a Linux distro for it. Some are better than others.
Okay.
So Ubuntu may not be the right choice. Ubuntu is a good start. You know why? Because it has this live CD boot. This is what I recommend you do. And this is, SUSE will do this, Mandriva will do this. Many, Knoppix, of course, started it. These Linux distributions, you can, without installing them, boot the CD on the hardware you're going to run it on, and you can see, does the sound work, does the networking work, what works, what doesn't, before you install.
Yeah, and I did install, by the way.
Yeah, well, you know, that's fine, except that probably on the live CD you would have seen this problem coming.
I saw it, but I decided to install it anyway.
Go ahead anyway, right.
That was my...
You'll probably be able to get it working, but I'd suggest you go to Linux on laptops and look at what they recommend for your particular laptop. It may be a different model, but they also talk about driver issues. So when you go in here, it'll say, here's what worked, here's what didn't work, here's how you get it to work.
Okay.
And, you know, sound cards are often, the NeoMagic chipset, it isn't really a sound card.
Yes, I know that.
The processor does all the work.
That's why I call it hardware rather than sound card.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even hardware. It's really a software interface. So what that means is there's a very elaborate Windows driver. It's like those Windows printers that are not really doing any work themselves. Windows does all the work for them. That means the driver, the software, is much more complex to write. So what's happening here, I think, is most likely is this is a tough driver to write. You probably can get it working. And this is also where Linux falls down. You can get it working, but you got to be a real geek. You got to put your geek hat on, Fern.
No geekness here.
You don't have a geek hat?
Geek, but
come on. Well, this will make you a geek. I'll tell you, the people who really become geeks are the ones who, in the early days of Linux, would get it working on things like laptops. It isn't, I agree, quite ready for prime time yet. I love Linux. I think Ubuntu, particularly, has made Linux more accessible to more people than ever before. But there are still little niggling issues like this one, where just one little thing won't work. That could drive your day crazy, right? So I'm not going to promise that you'll be able to get it to work, but try this site, linux-laptops.net.
Yeah, I will do that. I already wrote it down.
Yeah, and it's linux.laptop.net or linuxonlaptops.com. It is a wonderful site for figuring out what to do, which Linux to use, and then what drivers you can install. And it may even say, sorry, we've never gotten sound cards working on this platform. That may well be the case because the manufacturers aren't doing it.
Yeah, it's possible. Huh?
Yeah. Hey, Fern, you are a geek. Don't you kid yourself. You're a big geek.
I used to be a geek. I used to be tech support for Burroughs when Burroughs
Well, there
existed.
you go. What are you talking about? You're a geek in hiding. It's great to talk to you as always.
Yeah, same here, Leo.
Enjoy.
And welcome to Kelly, and hello to Sean and Mike and the rest of the gang.
Isn't Callie great? Oh,
Thanks
man.
very much.
We are so happy to have her. Thank you so much. It's great to talk to you, Fern. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Are you drowning in a flooded email inbox? Have you flagged more than 50 emails that you're supposed to take care of this week? How did he know that about me? How did he know that? We're going to show you some simple solutions with Mr. Mann, the king of email solutions from 43folders.com. Merlin Mann, right after this. Stay here.
I wouldn't trust this overgrown pile of microchips any further than I could throw it.
My dad eats Belvita breakfast biscuits to help him get through his crazy mornings. First, he crawls through traffic. Then, he gets buried in a mountain of paperwork and deals with his boss, who's a total monster.
New Belvita breakfast biscuits are made with real fruit, whole grain, and are a source of fiber. As part of a complete breakfast, they can help keep you going.
Grab Morning by the Biscuits. Find us in the cookie aisle.
Buy My First is a labor of love. To see the smile in their faces once you hand them those keys, it's actually really cool. I am Arman Ardilla, and I created buymyfirst.ca.
Every day, millions of business owners count on Vistaprint.ca to promote their business.
With Vistaprint, I've been able to find the right quality and the right breadth of goods that I need.
The easy-to-use tools and templates at Vistaprint.ca make it simple to look professional and coordinate your marketing across everything from business cards to websites to postcards and more. See how easy with 250 of our most popular cards, now new, improved, and still only $10.
So if Vistaprint and I were in business together, which we sort of are, this is what I delegate to my partner. You take care of this, and I will sell houses.
Visit Vistaprint.ca, and as an introductory offer, we'll cover the shipping for free.
I can hand it off, and I know that it's going to be done right and on time. Right and on time should be their name.
Vistaprint.ca.
Rated T for teen. Download now and play for free at worldoftanks.ca.
Welcome back to Call for Help. I'm so happy to have Merlin Mann here from 43folders.com, my personal guru. And a good friend, and it's great to have you. We've had you on Mac Break many times showing us how to be more productive. That's kind of what you do on your website, 43folders.com.
Yeah, theoretically, we help people waste a lot of time in productive ways.
That's really true.
How to procrastinate more efficiently.
You can do a lot of, quote, time-saving things that really are a way of avoiding doing anything at all.
Leo, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
A lot of people are not wasting time in the most optimal way. And we feel like what we do is we take that and we turn it a little bit, and we help you really get a lot less done more quickly.
Efficiently waste time.
That's right.
We're going to talk about Gmail ninja tricks, but I have to say that what we're going to see here will apply to any inbox. But Gmail makes it kind of easy to do this stuff, right?
Yeah, that's right. Everybody's struggling with a lot of the same problems today, right? I mean, you get way more email than you can handle. It's hard to know. People are looking for a framework. Make it easy for me to see the bottom of my inbox at the end of the day.
This is the thing you say that blows my mind. I have never seen the bottom of my inbox. Never. Well, once I did, everything accidentally got erased, and I saw that there was a bottom, but immediately they filled up with 4,000 or 5,000 messages. So it's really a bottomless pit. And there's mail in there I haven't answered, I should answer. There's stuff I don't know what. I don't even want to know what's in there.
Well, it's hard, and it takes a lot of dedication, and you know what it really takes? It takes the right tool and it takes the right attitude.
Show us how.
Well, what we're going to talk about today, we're looking at Gmail, and we're going to talk about some ways to see the bottom of your inbox.
One thing would be answering mail.
Answering mail is one idea, but there's one thing that's a lot better than answering mail, which is deleting mail.
Delete!
That's right. If you are looking for a theoretical needle, it helps to have a little less hay in your stack.
Yes.
So what we're going to talk about here is, you've probably seen this on 43folders.com. I have a series called Inbox Zero, and we talk about some of the ways that you can really simplify the way that you deal with email and have kind of one simple process for doing everything. So we're going to look at that in terms of Gmail today.
Okay.
The most important thing you can do is get rid of anything immediately, as quick as it comes in. Get rid of spam, get rid of junk, and if you know in your heart that you're never going to do anything with that email ever, delete it the second you get it.
I've heard productivity experts say that with regular mail is touch it once, handle it somehow, but don't look at it again and again and again. See, that's what I'm doing. I'm always kind of seeing it again and again and again.
You're absolutely right.
It's a waste of time.
That's right. And if you spend your whole day scrolling through your inbox over and over, you're just burning cycles. Right. If that's if there's a ninja trick inside of the ninja trick, it's to learn to be honest with yourself and to say, am I ever going to do anything about this? And if you know you're not, throw it away now instead of 6 months later, right? Okay. So the very first thing we do, we're going to go through here.
I see a lot of junk right at the top.
Well, yes. I don't know who these people in the Friends email network are, but they're sending us a lot of. I do not need a podcast in my pants. Really quick, great Gmail trick. I'm in Firefox. I can select the topmost item in this checkbox list, and on my Mac, I'm hitting. What am I hitting? I'm hitting Apple Shift and then click, and that will select everything in between.
Extension, so you can
super fast way to be able to blaze through here.
Control Shift click on Windows, I think.
Control Shift. They have control keys on Windows.
They do now.
And they don't crash, or
no.
That's super.
It's an amazing thing.
And I'm going to go ahead and just delete these because I don't need these.
That was nice. That
and they
felt
are
good,
gone. That's
it?
a good feeling. So already, okay, if you learn nothing else today, learn how to delete your mail, because a lot of people are hanging on to every mail they've gotten their entire life. It's like a little hug. They want to keep it forever.
Well, I have to say there's a reason to do that, because there's information in there. It's like a database, like email, like addresses and.
You're right. But here's the question you need to ask yourself: is how often in the last week have you gone back into your email archive?
Right.
And there's a good answer for that, which is if you go back all the time, then you probably need a fair amount of. You might need levels of.
You use folders to do that?
I do not. I do everything with search. But the thing is, I talk to people, and you discover that it's a lot about. I hate to say sentimentality, because that's not quite getting it. But if the fact is you never go back and look at it, then why are you keeping it?
Reluctance to let go.
Right. That's burning cycles in your brain.
Yeah.
Now, the most important thing to learn in email, apart from deleting, is the fact that all emails are. In total, is requests for your time and requests for your attention, and requests for your actions.
Right.
So as quickly as possible, you want to liberate all of the actions, and you want to figure out if there's any actions associated with any of your emails, and then get those parked someplace outside of email, so you're not living out of your inbox.
So you look at the email, say, is there anything I must do here, and what is that thing I must do?
That's right, exactly. And it's also critical, though, to park that outside of your email system.
Get it out of the inbox.
So even if you're in Outlook, you still want to park that in a to-do list rather than living out of your inbox. The way I like to say is you're in the business of making sandwiches, not stacking orders.
Got it.
Okay, so I'm going to flip through these real quick, and I can tell just by looking at a few of these. Well, this I don't know who this Jeff Veeam person is, but he sent me some stuff here. This Roderick character looks a little rough.
You see a lot of forwards in there.
I see some forwards, but let's say there's some emails that I know that my only action on this is going to be some kind of a response.
Yeah.
Now, the great thing about Gmail is they have, instead of having folders, they have what are called labels.
Yeah.
So it makes it really easy for me to say, okay, here's all the emails that I know I want to respond to. And then I can add that label on the pull-down menu here. I can just go and say respond. And now those are all going to be tagged with respond.
Let me see some of those other actions. So you've actually created like little labels for the different ways you want to handle each email. In this case, you've labeled this, I need to handle this.
Exactly.
You didn't even read the email, actually. Some of this you could just do from the subject line.
This is a big part of Inbox Zero, is the idea that you should not be constantly checking your email.
Right.
And when you do check your email, you don't need to read it all, you don't need to respond to it all, you need to process it all. So that's a key distinction that a lot of people still aren't making.
And that's one of the reasons I get bogged down. I start going through the mail, I never get to the bottom of the inbox.
And the reason you procrastinate is because you're just, and this is a key thing for BlackBerry users, people who are really good at checking email, but they're not very good at doing anything with it.
That's me.
Guilty as charged. So now these are over in this respond folder. Now, if I want to, I can, over here under labels, I can say, just show me all the email that I need to respond to. So this is a very simple trick, but it's one of the most effective things you can do. You do not need a Byzantine folder structure to make this work.
Right.
You want it to be all about the actions that you need to do, and Gmail makes that really easy.
So we've got one that needs response, or hold for response.
That's right. Now let's say I've got a bunch of stuff here. I'm going to undo all of this, and I'm going to say,
or you just select it all. We don't
select it all, and I
select
want
none.
And so now I'm going to go through here and look at a few of these that, oh, well, gosh, this Gmail thing, okay, so I signed up for this account. This is stuff I'm going to want to hang on to, but really I can
reference material.
It's reference, so that all goes into one big archive folder. Gmail gives you, at this point, I've got 2.7-ish gigs.
It's a ton of space.
Yes.
And because it's Google, it's very easy to find stuff anywhere in that space.
Exactly.
So you don't have to worry about losing it. You now have that reference material archived.
Yeah, exactly. You're getting the point of this perfectly, which is that you want a system that is as simple as you can possibly stand. The more elegant it is, the more easy it's going to be day to day. And like they say in extreme programming, you ain't going to need it, right?
Right.
You don't want to start planning out for stuff that you may never need in the future.
That's probably my flaw, is that I tend to get Byzantine in my folder structure and all the stuff I'm going to do.
I don't know anything about that. Coming up with a big squirrely system.
Yeah, you wouldn't know that one, would you?
Well,
Show me a couple more actions. What other things can you do with your email?
Well, you know, here's one that comes up a lot. Like, let's say, for example, okay, well, this is this Matt Howie person has sent me something. Now, I know that that's going to have, for example, a phone number in it that I'm going to want to have later.
Yeah.
So there's really not an action associated with it right now. So I want to put that into my holding folder.
Holding. Okay.
Now, the idea is holding should not become Granny's attic. This is not some place where you let stuff pile up.
Yeah, right.
It's a good idea to schedule every week or so to go through and thin that out, call out anything that you don't need.
Right.
But the point of all of this is to use Gmail or whatever your program is to, as quickly as possible, liberate actions. Now, if there are things in here that I know I need to do, oh gosh.
Yeah, where if you come across something you actually have to
real
do
quickly
something?
talk about actions? Well, Brian has an excellent business opportunity for me. Well, I know that is something that I am going to want to have
Actually,
an
I know
action
Brian Oberkirk, and if he says there's a business opportunity, I would believe him. That's the Big in Japan guy, yeah?
Yeah, he used to be with Big in Japan, and
he's
now
moved,
oh yeah. I think he's struck out on his own. He's an entrepreneur, an overpreneur. But now here's the beauty part of this. Now, if I go over and I say, show me all the things that have actions associated with them. Now, I'll show you how I do this. I do not use my inbox as a to-do list ever, and I think this is critical. So Brian has a business opportunity, so you know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to go over to my to-do list, and I'm going to make a note to myself that is going to be read Brian's prospectus.
I like your to-do list.
Oh God, this isn't on screen, is it?
Yes.
Oh God, this is awkward.
You're a busy guy.
Okay, you know, Canada, I like flan. I hope that's not a problem.
Yeah, and I hope Louisiana is for sale, because it might be hard to
Well,
purchase.
I've been talking to a guy, and I think I've got a line on that. And you know what I'm going to do then? I'm going to go straight back to Gmail and
delete.
In my case, I might want to.
You want to fold it, file it? Maybe?
Yeah, I can archive it.
Oh, okay.
But the point is, I'm not going to use that as my inbox. I'm going to park it somewhere else.
Yeah, see, that's my other problem, is I tend to do that as well.
Right.
So you have a to-do list. You will move those. The idea is you go through each email and you decide what to do with it. Delete it, save it for reference, or put it in your action list, something that you need to do.
The question that comes before all the other questions, that people think this is kind of a mean thing to do, they think this is an inhumane thing to do. What in the world does this mean to me?
Right.
Is there any place that this has in my world?
And that's kind of, I think, why people have problems with email. It feels like it's pulling at you,
It is.
right?
It is.
So we want to brush it off.
And you know, and the thing about this is that the faster that you get fast at this,
Right.
the less it's going to be a problem. And if you enjoy exchanging emails with people that you care about,
do.
this is going to open up time,
You have time to do it.
That's right. Cutting down on the clutter.
Great stuff. We have show notes with lots more detail. It can be with Gmail, but you can do this with folders in Outlook.
You
or
can be a
any program.
ninja anywhere you want.
Any program at all. Merlin Mann is the creator of 43folders.com, where you'll find lots of stuff like this. It's a family of websites really about personal productivity. 43folders.com, and read about the specific details of this segment at
Inbox0.com.
Inbox0.com?
Inbox0.com will redirect you to the 44
INBOXZERO?
ZERO.
Sorry, he's a little more Canadian than I am. We're also inviting you to go there to our website, callforhelptv.com, for a taste of our next tech quiz question of the day. That's quiz with a Z.
That's with a Z?
Yes, with a Z. Which computer component uses a Texel? Is it a 3D graphics card, a hard drive, a DVD drive, or the power switch? You got to have a Texel, but where? Go to the website, give us the answer. We'll talk about it when Call for Help continues.
CLR makes quick cleaning of all your messes and turns chore time into your time. Take that clogged shower head, dip it in CLR, and done. It's running like new. CLR's patented formula doesn't waste time. Swish CLR in your coffee pot to get rid of hard water deposits, and it looks like new. A half cup in the washer and dishwasher keeps them running clean and trouble-free. CLR dissolves white crusty calcium and lime buildup on your humidifier filter fast. A quick wipe has this rusty bike restored. Old-looking patio furniture looks great again. A few scrubs and CLR's patented formula zaps through tough rust stains on concrete and stucco. so you can get back to your day. CLR is safe for the environment, too. Wherever there's dirt, CLR is ready to take it on. Turn chore day into your day with CLR.
At Canadian Tire, Home Hardware, Home Depot, Superstores, Loblaws, Rona, Safeway, Shoppers, Co-op, Timber Mardays, True Hardware, VNS, Walmart.
Buy My First is a labor of love. To see the smile in their faces once you hand them those keys, it's actually really cool. I am Arman Ardila, and I created buymyfirst.ca.
Every day, millions of business owners count on vistaprint.ca to promote their business.
With Vistaprint, I've been able to find the right quality and the right breadth of goods that I need.
The easy-to-use tools and templates at vistaprint.ca make it simple to look professional and coordinate your marketing across everything from business cards to websites to postcards and more. See how easy with 250 of our most popular cards, now new, improved, and still only $10.
So if Vistaprint and I were in business together, which we sort of are, this is what I delegate to my partner. You take care of this, and I will sell houses.
Visit vistaprint.ca, and as an introductory offer, we'll cover the shipping for free.
I can hand it off, and I know that it's going to be done right and on time. Right and on time should be their name.
Vistaprint.ca.
Brought to you by Subway Restaurants. Get your favorite sub made just the way you say. Subway. Think fresh, eat fresh.
Welcome back to Call for Help. I am always so inspired, Callie, by Merlin Mann. He always makes me want to do all this stuff. I get all inspired. I do it for a day, and then it's right back to the sludge.
I know how you feel.
Are you good with your email? I know you answer. Well, I shouldn't even say this, but you do answer
I've
right
said
now
it before.
on email. You answer on email.
I try very hard. It's kind of getting a little overwhelming, so I'm needing Merlin to help me out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to say up front, I cannot answer all my email. If I answered all my email, I would not have time to do anything else. I wish I could. It's really, it hurts me in a way not to be able to. But what I really need is a way to process it so that I don't get bogged down in my email. Maybe I could answer more of it if I did. I'm now feeling, as always with Merlin, really guilty. I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better. Do we have a caller on the line?
They do, and hopefully they'll cheer you up a little.
Yes, I need to be cheered up.
Jason from Mississauga, Ontario is on the line.
Hey, Jason, how are you today?
Hey.
Welcome to Call for Help. What can I do for you?
Well, my owner came to me. I work for a privately owned business, and he wanted to set up a website for the store.
Sure he does.
And basically, it's not a shopping site. It's just to draw customers with a coupon offer to come to the store to purchase items.
Great idea. In fact, nowadays, if you're a business that doesn't have a website, I think in many ways you don't exist. I mean, I know, and I think more and more this is going to be the case with the wired generation. As soon as I'm looking for information about a company, I go to the web. That's where I look for them information. I Google their name. And if they don't have a website, I'm going, this must be a little sketch. So this is a very good idea. How can I help you get started?
Well, I have very little knowledge of web design.
Oh, good.
Period.
You got the job.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So you have to start from scratch.
Yes.
Now, it's going to be a very simple website, so that's the good news. Do you think that you will want to be updating it at all?
Yes.
Regularly?
Well, we're constantly getting new products in the store, usually on a weekly basis.
Okay.
So I want to advertise those items on the site.
All right. That's very important. The reason I ask is, it's possible and very simple to create what I call a static web page. It doesn't change very often with simple HTML tools, Google Pages, for instance, which is a really great way to create a site. Probably not a great way for a business, but for an individual to create a site. But it's kind of more for pages that don't change a lot. If you're going to change it a lot, you probably want to use software that's more like blogging software. It'll make it very easy. You don't have to use any specialized software. You use the website to do it. It makes it very easy. I'm just going to show you the blog because I can log into it that I use, which is Vox. I'm not recommending this for you. Let me sign into my Vox account here. But the reason I show you this is to show you how, in general, blogs work. You have this is the front page of the blog. Whoops, let's go back. This is the front page of the blog, but you'll also have an administrative area of the blog where you can do stuff specifically around administering it. In this case, this is how you would post new data on the blog. You say, new item in our store, exclamation mark. You could put photos of it, audio, videos, books. You type it. It looks like a word processor, doesn't it? With simple, bold, italics, underline. You do different typefaces, bullets. It's got all the basic formatting tools. You don't have to know HTML or web design or anything. When you press post, submit down here, it's going to automatically flow it into the blog itself. Let me go back to the blog, and you will see it in the form that you designed. This is a really, and then by the way, the one I'm using, Vox, has a lot of beautiful templates. See how nice it is? There's Kelly. See how nice it is? So that is a great thing for somebody like you. In fact, for anybody, even me, I know how to do HTML. I don't want to do HTML. I want to post it. I'm more focused on the content. Yep. So what I'm going to recommend for you is TypePad. This is the big brother of this Vox. It's not very expensive. It has a lot of nice features, very easy to use. You can have a dedicated domain name, ourstore.com. They'll help you set that up. And it really is going to make it, for you, much simpler. There are actually a great many businesses that use TypePad for their blogs. I think it's really, really good. Another good choice is WordPress.com. That's the hosted, both of these are what we call hosted solutions. In other words, they do everything. They host it for you. They have the software on there for you. There's nothing for you to figure out, Jason, and I think that's a good way to go. Okay. So typepad.com, the highest end one they offer, I think, is $150 a year, with all the hosting and everything, or WordPress.com. I would try both of them. Both of them have trial versions you could try for a month. See which one you like best, which one gives you the templates you like best. I think it's going to be TypePad, to be honest with you. Although Mikey loves WordPress.com.
I was going to say WordPress.com is actually completely free, so you don't actually have to...
Oh, it's free?
Yeah.
Oh, try WordPress then. Okay, Jason? Okay. Two very, very good choices, and it'll make it much easier for you. For people who don't want to be web designers, even people who do, like Mike and me and Amber, who would know how to do this, you know, in their sleep, she uses TypePad, okay? Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Coming up next, Callie Lewis is here to talk to us about the software she uses to create her stunning video podcast, Geek Brief TV, on the Pod Show Podcast Network. Callie Lewis, right after this. Stay right here.
Introducing a match made in skin heaven. New Venus and Olay. Olay Moisture Bars help lock in moisture, while 5 blades get Venus close. Revealing smooth and goddess skin begins. Only from Venus and Olay.
Buy My First is a labor of love. To see the smile in their faces once you hand them those keys, it's actually really cool. I am Arman Ardila, and I created BuyMyFirst.ca.
Every day, millions of business owners count on Vistaprint.ca to promote their business.
With Vistaprint, I've been able to find the right quality and the right breadth of goods that I need.
The easy-to-use tools and templates at Vistaprint.ca make it simple to look professional and coordinate your marketing across everything from business cards to websites to postcards and more. See how easy with 250 of our most popular cards, now new, improved, and still only $10.
So if Vistaprint and I were in business together, which we sort of are, this is what I delegate to my partner. You take care of this, and I will sell houses.
Visit Vistaprint.ca, and as an introductory offer, we'll cover the shipping for free.
I can hand it off, and I know that it's going to be done right and on time. Right and on time should be their name.
Vistaprint.ca.
Go, go, go. Go, 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 go.
Hurry, the countdown's on. The goo is back, only till Easter.
Podcasting. Counting everyone on this show, I think there's 37 different podcasts in this room. We got Lab Rats and Command N. I've got about 20 just by myself. Callie Lewis is the star of the great GeekBrief.tv. Everybody's doing a podcast. Of course, Callie Happ's the best one out there. But would you like to make one of your own? You think you want to take Callie on? All right. Here's your chance.
Absolutely.
Callie Lewis is going to show us how they do geekbrief.tv. And it's surprisingly simple. Now, when you started in December of 2005,
right?
Did you have this fancy setup?
Actually, we've always used video queue, yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you knew right away that this was the way to go.
Yeah, because it's $89, and it does chroma keying, it does a teleprompter, and not everybody wants to script.
Right.
But even some people like just to have kind of bullet points and want to know their
it's
topics.
Kind of a little broadcast studio.
So,
does it also record the video?
Oh, absolutely.
It does the whole
records
thing?
everything. Yeah, it does everything.
So we hung up a green towel behind you.
a green towel. So why don't you come over here?
We can
and
actually make a podcast?
Yeah,
All right.
we'll make a podcast.
So what's the name of this software again?
This is Video Queue Pro.
Okay.
And they're
$89. That's great.
$89, yeah.
And you're going to use the built-in camera on the computer. You don't even have to have a fancy camera, although I imagine you don't use this to make yours.
Not the eyesight, no.
No, you use a pretty good camera.
Yeah, we have a.
But you could. In fact, Command N, the first Command
exactly.
N was done on an eyesight.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I have to go back and
I don't
look
think
at
they
that.
were too serious about it when they first started. So where should I be?
Yeah, just come over here right about there.
Okay.
And what we have is you have three. Are you showing the screen? Okay.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
this is the computer.
We have three different types that you can have. You can have a background, a foreground, and a graphic.
So that's what's on the right there. Those are the different. So you've actually put some graphics in.
Yeah,
you have
I've put some
lower
graphics
third,
in.
They call this in the business lower third graphics. That's amazing.
So you can have your camera right there, and there you are.
Okay.
And then
so as it scrolls, it will actually pull up that graphic when it gets to that part of the script.
Right. And so what I'm going to do is drag in
really neat.
our background here. I'm going to call for help. And then what you do is go into chroma key down here and use chroma key.
I can't believe how easy
sorry,
this is.
you got to click on the camera first. So use chroma key, see how it goes.
So it's going to now put call for help behind. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't see that live.
Okay.
And then you can kind of play around with the lighting.
You have call for help behind you when you do it.
Right.
Okay.
So and then let's go for it.
Wait a minute.
Oops.
Stop.
Okay.
Who's going to operate the prompter? Somebody has to scroll this, right?
Yeah, somebody does. I
Who
can't
does
do it
it for
myself
you when
one
you
way
do the
back there.
show?
Neil does actually.
Your
but
husband. If only Neil were here.
I know.
Wait a minute. Now he's really camera shy. So he's actually going to. Is he there? Is he? Wave, Neil. Okay. This is her husband, Neil.
Okay.
The reason he doesn't want to show his face is he's the spitting image of Brad Pitt, and he doesn't want to start all of these rumors going on. So, shall we do a show?
Let's do a show.
Okay, so we're going to read this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
Okay, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little scared.
It's okay.
Okay. Look, the chroma key's working.
Hey, I'm Callie Lewis.
Oh, and I'm Regis Philbin.
This is the Call for Help Netcast.
Yeah, on this.
Did you see what I did there with the script?
Yeah.
Netcast?
Netcast.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
I appreciate that. On today's show, that's the camera there?
Yeah.
We're talking about the new, completely remastered iPod Nano. Was that your line?
Yeah, that was my line, but that's okay. But it's a short show, so we're not going to talk too much.
So it's
Thanks
over.
for watching. Bye.
Callie Ripa. I'm Regis Philbin. Good night, everybody. So we made a podcast.
We made a podcast. So let's go back to
Not
the
a good
screen
podcast,
here.
but then probably better than a lot, right? Wow, that was easy.
Wasn't that easy?
Thank you, Neil. Say goodbye.
Bye.
I'm not kidding. He is that camera shy. All right.
And so then
you recorded that while we were doing that?
Yes,
Oh,
we
I can't
recorded
believe
that. And so now on the screen here, we have a preview. And here we go.
You don't have to show me. I don't need to see it. In fact, I'm sure I want to see it.
But you can now see the call for help. Oh, well, we have a little bit of lighting issue with this, so we're kind of transparent.
Okay, but you
you get the idea, and you can get the background there.
I didn't wear the right shirt for green screen. You didn't tell me I was going to be.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you have green in here.
You can see right through my belly.
So that's Video Queue.
Wow,
and
that's cool.
It's very
$89.
simple, right? You can do a lot of different stuff. And
if you've seen Geek Brief, I'll be honest with you, I would have never guessed. I mean, such a professional-looking production. I would have never known you're doing this on an inexpensive computer with inexpensive software. Is there something like this for Windows?
Yes, there is. It's called Vlogit.
Let me switch over.
Okay.
Here. All right.
And so here.
So this is what the Windows-based podcasters will use for their video podcast.
Right. And this is a very good. It's basically the same thing. It's a very well-designed layout. I haven't used it too much, but I've heard from everybody that it's really good. So
I have to say, I'm kind of tempted to do a video podcast. I didn't know it was that easy. Watch out, Callie Lewis. I'm gunning for you.
Wait, I have to fight the ninja and you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe in a cage match.
Yeah.
Tag team. Okay, it's you and Neil against me and the Ninja.
All right, let's go for it.
Hey, you know what, Callie? I'm blown away. That is amazing. $89, very simple.
Yeah.
Easy to use. You could probably scroll it yourself. There's probably an
yeah, you can.
auto-scroll feature,
I've done it before. You can just use the page up or the up and down arrow keys to scroll and kind of keep up with yourself. So.
Right. And you can hook up a camera and use it with a real
that's
camera.
what we do. We have a Panasonic camera, and so we just do that, and then you get that in the media section, and you just drag that in.
You want to see how good this looks? Don't look at what we just did. Go to g4techtv. It's on the Pod Show Podcast Network, and this actually, I'll be honest, I had no idea you did it with something like this. I thought it's a very professional production. Amazing. Wow. In fact, I just found out it was green screen. I didn't even know you were using green screen.
Yeah, you just found
I thought you were
out 2
traveling
days ago.
all over the world. I'm not kidding. To find the links to VideoQ and Vlogit, which is the Windows version, visit callforhelptv.com. And of course, Callie's podcast again, geekbrief.tv. More answers to your tech troubles right after you say hi to our staffers who are actually all out now to start their video podcast. Stay right here. We got another show. We got a show to do. Where are you going? Well, maybe not him. It's the Darth Ninja podcast. That was great, Neil. Very well done. Good segment.
I could have this moment for life. 'Cause in this moment I just feel so alive. 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 I wish that I could have this moment for life. For life. Breakfast at Subway. There's no better way to start your day.
The Subway $3 cheese omelet combo. Wow! A tasty 6-inch cheese omelet sandwich and a 12-ounce cup of Seattle's best coffee, all for only $3. What a deal! $3 and made just the way you say. Or why not give yourself the choice to start your day with one of the other scrumptious sandwiches on our breakfast menu? Build your better breakfast at Subway restaurants. Subway. Think fresh, eat fresh.
With a select terrain dial that adjusts the Jeep Grand Cherokee's performance for specific weather and road conditions, even heavy snowstorms won't keep you from getting to work. Our apologies. The most awarded SUV ever. Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Before we switched to Rogers for Business, browsing on my old phone was painful. And the cabinets are going to look great over here. Got a picture on the website. Still loading. Here we... No. Now I have the new BlackBerry Z10 on Rogers LTE network. I can browse like never before, and my team can get the information they need faster.
Switch today. Talk to a certified BlackBerry small business specialist.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize it. Aren't you supposed to do... Hi, welcome back to Call for Help. I'm Leo Laporte. I hope nobody saw that. Callie Lewis is here.
I was going to tell you, but then I thought, you can just get a little embarrassed.
See, in the old days, it would start on Amber, and then it would come to me, and I forgot it starts on me and goes to Callie. So I thought I had a moment of, myself for myself. Callie.
Yes. Do you want to talk to somebody?
We have a phone call.
In Toronto, Ontario, we have Jerry.
Hey, Jerry, how are you?
Great, Leo. I'm glad to hear from you.
Well, I'm glad to hear from you. What can I do for you today?
Well, first of all, I go back a long time with you. I'm an old guy from when we used to do you were on DirecTV.
Oh, yeah.
And
don't tell the authorities.
You are my guru.
Oh, please.
I really mean that. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't know you and the whole gang. I'd love the show.
Jerry, welcome to the mountaintop.
Thank you very much.
What can
My question is
answer
this.
for you? Yes, sir.
I have a Trio 650. I go back a long way with Palm and Trio and Handspring, and I'm also thinking of getting another smartphone, but with the Palm operating system, how do I transfer files from there over to another operating system?
Are you using the Palm desktop right now?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Yeah, there's a couple of things you can do. You can either export it from the Palm desktop and import it into Outlook, Or if you go back and get the disc that came with your Trio, there are Outlook conduits on that disc. It's called Chapura's pocket, what is it called? I can't remember. Pocket mirror or something like that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, those are conduits for Outlook. So here's what you do. You go back, you install that, and you change your sync settings to sync to Outlook. Do you have Outlook?
Yes.
Yeah, so you don't. So right now, all your data is in the desktop, but if you sync to Outlook, all of a sudden it'll be in Outlook.
So I understand. So, but if I want to still use the Palm desktop, is that?
Then you turn it off.
You turn it off.
You do it once.
Okay.
But what's happening, and the reason you do that is because unless you buy a phone that's based on Palm, no other phone is going to sync with the Palm desktop.
Exactly.
But they all sync with Outlook.
Yeah. Okay.
If they sync with Outlook. I mean, there are plenty of dumb phones that won't sync with Outlook. But if you're buying another PDA-style smartphone, it'll sync with Outlook. So the idea is use Outlook as kind of the little boat that goes from one shore to the other to carry your data. So you're going to sync with Outlook, and you only have to do it once. Of course, it won't be up to date if you go back to using the Palm desktop. So if you want to continue to have both phones up to date, you're probably going to have to move to Outlook. I agree with you. I like the Palm desktop. It's much simpler and cleaner.
Hey, it is.
But it doesn't sync with any phone that's not a Palm.
No, I have no really issue with the operating system.
Yeah.
It's actually much more, I think, much improved now.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree. So that's the real issue, though, is if you want to have all these things in sync, this old phone, the new phone, you're going to have some middleman that both understand, and Outlook is kind of the lingua franca.
But does it cause a conflict between one and the other?
Well, I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. Anytime you're syncing to multiple devices, you're going to have some data that's stray data in there, maybe duplicates, things like that. These just things happen. It's part of the problem with syncing. We've yet to find a really great way to sync. It's as good as it's going to get in the doing it with Outlook and the built-in sync stuff, but you're going to get some duplicates from time to time. You might have some calendar items don't translate over, things like that. A lot of that's because the different capabilities of the different operating systems.
Are you hearing anything about the 700 series?
I have a 700, the W. I'm not a big fan of Windows Mobile 5, to be honest with you. I think the Palm's better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Windows Mobile is too complicated.
I heard there's a 750 coming out?
There is a 750 coming out, absolutely. So there's always something new coming out.
Well, I go back to the old 90 and the 160.
Oh, you're a handspring kind of guy.
I am.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I remember those. They were great devices. They really took Palm the next step forward.
Exactly.
Great. I think there are a lot of neat new smartphones coming out in the next year. I would watch carefully. There's some really good stuff coming out.
What kind of operating system are they then?
I am not fond of Windows Mobile. I would say the either Symbian or kind of the built-in ones that come with some of these phones, like the Nokia operating system, are better.
Excellent.
We'll tell you. In fact, I'm going to ask Callie in a little bit because she plays with all this stuff. She'll probably know.
Are you guys not giving any T-shirts away or anything anymore?
I'll give you an autograph.
I'll take anything from you.
Hang on for the address. We'll get your address.
It's really, really a pleasure to hear from you.
My pleasure, Jerry.
Okay, great.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Bye.
Oh, poor Mikey. No free file today, Mikey. Sorry. We're going to send Jerry an autograph picture, though. Coming up next. Heck, when I was in school, we used to use an abacus to keep track of our grades. Actually, that was the upgrade. Originally, it was just lines in the dirt. We're going to see how to manage grades simply by using Excel with Mr. Excel. But before we leave, one more chance to take our Next Tech quiz question of the day. Which computer component uses a Texel? Is it a 3D graphics card, a hard drive, a DVD drive, or your power switch? We'll be right back with the answer. The call for help continues. Stay right here.
Weeknights on G4. It's science with a bang.
Yes!
Bang goes the theory. Weeknights at 8 on G4.
We robbed a bank. We robbed a bank. Don't worry, getting it all back.
Are you crazy?
The only thing that's crazy is how much free exposure old Betsy's getting right now.
Exposure? Why don't you just list it on autotrader.ca like everybody else? Almost 4 million people search for used cars there every month.
Let me see that. It's actually a great website. This would have been a way better idea.
Autotrader.ca, the better way to buy and sell cars.
I got it made. I got it made. Fresh and Subway. Subs made just the way I say. I got it made. I got it made. Fresh and Subway.
You've got it made with with Subway Restaurant's Italian collection. Crank up the crunch with green peppers on the Italian BMT, have the chicken pizziola melt on our famous flatbread, or why not throw some tomatoes or black olives on that meatball pepperoni melt? Subway. Think fresh, eat fresh.
Ooh, KD, can I have some?
What do you say?
Please?
What do you say?
Please, Mr. Universe, ruler of everything cool, magnet for all hot chicks. Including my mom, even though she's not hot to me, but most guys have admitted that they do find her attractive in a way that I'll never understand, but must overcome if I ever want a bowl of your cheesy KD.
Forgot to raise your right hand.
Hey guys! To start it off, to say the things unsaid. We toast this alive, we break and share this bread. At least we know we'll never be alone. Yeah, we got these bones all here in one place. We weather every storm, we bend but never break. And we'll be singing,
Welcome back to Call for Help. Before the break, we asked you what the heck a texel is. I'm pretty sure it's a 3D graphics unit. It's not a pixel, it's a texture element is what it's short for. So when you're talking gaming, you'll have a shape that you've created of the bad guy, let's say, and then you map onto it a texture. And that texture elements, the pixels of that, the repeating tiles of that, those are texels. And oftentimes when they talk about the performance in a video card, they'll say how many texels per second it can handle. You know, even the most organized teachers can sometimes have trouble trying to calculate and keep track of scores, percentages, grades, other ways of measuring student progress. It's kind of, you know, really the deliverable that most teachers have. If you're a student, forget about trying to steal your teacher's daybook to alter your grades. That's what we did back in the Stone Age, but now all these marks are being saved on the computer. Bill Jelen is here to show us how you can use Excel, and I bet you a lot of teachers do this to manage grades. This is from his book. I love this book. I gave it to my favorite teacher, Excel for Teachers.
Yes.
And, you know, I mean, obviously you could put a name of a student, grade, but there's got to be better ways.
Pretty much. You know, the funny thing, this is one of the first applications I think most teachers try.
Absolutely.
And immediately you run into two of the biggest stumbling blocks in Excel.
Okay.
And so we're going to
how do you get around them?
Yeah, we're going to put this out on the show notes so people can actually download it and see it. But let's talk about the concept. So just like you said, I have a list of the students down the left-hand side of the sheet, and a list of the assignments going across the top of the sheet.
And then how they did in each assignment. You just put in A+, B-.
And at the bottom, I put the total points possible. So that way I know what the total points are.
Okay.
So to total up the kid's score, it's a simple sum formula, but this sum formula is going across instead of down.
Right.
Usually we total a column of numbers. So to do that, one great way to do it is just to select, well, actually, we'll start here, hit the auto sum button, and then
it knows. It says, oh, I can see that you went all the way to the left here, so I'm going to do that. And it usually picks a pretty good range.
And what's really nice is as we copy that formula down, Excel is smart enough to change the formula from row to row to row. So this one's totaling row 6, this one's totaling row 8. Right, that's kind of the miracle of Excel.
Every teacher watching has gotten this far.
This far. Now, here's the tough part.
Okay.
So now we want to figure out the student's average. So the student's average is that student's score divided by the total points possible. And I enter that formula, and it works out fine. But as I start to copy that formula down, we run into trouble. We start getting div by zero errors. And the problem, when we look at the formula, is it's looking at the score for this student in this row, but then it also moved the reference to the total.
This is the difference between an absolute reference and a relative reference.
That's it. It's a relative versus absolute. So when I was entering this original formula,
Excel defaults to
relative. It's always relative. So as you copy the formula down, the reference moves.
And it wants to do that, right? Normally that's what you want to do.
And in this case, we need to say absolutely all the time. It has to point at L20. It has to point at that total.
Because that's the total.
Which way I copy it. So the solution, many people know you can put dollar signs in. The shortcut.
That's usually what I do.
The shortcut is to hit the F4 key. It puts the dollar signs in for you.
Oh.
So there's our formula.
Well, you just saved me about 3 hours a day. I'm going, kind of the dollar sign. F4, okay, that
F4.
makes it absolute.
Then when we copy that down, the formula is smart enough to say we're going to take the student score on this row,
but always use L20.
Divided by the
Yeah,
exactly. So that gives you a percentage score. Last trick is how to convert that to a letter score.
See, this is where I go, I have no idea.
Okay. You could build a big, huge if statement, but let's not do that.
Let's not.
The strange thing, we're going to use a formula called VLOOKUP. stands for vertical lookup. And VLOOKUP, the weird thing with VLOOKUP is your scores have to be listed from lowest to highest. So my school's grading scale says 94 to 100 is an A.
Right.
And then well, you have to start with an F. You have to say, if the student has a 0, they get an F.
Okay.
If it's above a 65, it's a D.
Okay.
So I set up a little lookup table out here to the...
So you match the first point in the range to the letter grade
Yes,
that they would get.
that's right.
Okay.
So equal VLOOKUP, the student's score, and then we point to the range. And again, this has to have the $sign, so I hit F4. I want the second column. And
is there a greater than in there somewhere, or?
No, it just knows.
It gets the first one. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
it
And we
finds
go
the-
to the next one until it's high enough.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
And so then when we copy that down,
Look at that, A+.
instantly
Johnny
have all
is
your-
Johnny can read.
Although Austin is in trouble.
Austin is in deep doo-doo. Isn't that great?
And then once this is set up, you just fill in the scores as you go across. It'll instantly update. You know exactly where.
You got bell curves in the book? Things like that, grading on the curve. That would have been really good.
Next time, second edition.
That's what I need, because if they don't grade me on the curve, I'm in trouble. I'm down there with Austin.
There you go.
Very cool.
All right.
Anything else you want to tell us?
No, that's pretty much it.
It's all on the website. We've got it in the show notes.
And the book has 24 other examples like this. I'll put this spreadsheet out there with instructions. And
nice. So you can just download it.
Exactly.
You don't have to even remember what Mr. Excel said. You just plug in the names and the grades. That's very cool.
The absolute reference, that's the one that really throws me.
Yeah, and you know, I think that's probably in all of Excel, that's the thing you have to get when you're putting in formulas.
Because
And once
otherwise, you enter the formula again, you have to enter the formula in each row, which you could do for 30 students in a classroom, but
it's not for OLAP cubes. When it comes to Excel, I just like to throw that in. It makes them laugh.
That was good.
Yeah, OLAP cubes. That's an accountant joke. Bill Jelen does it all. You can learn more about his books, like this one, which I highly recommend. In fact, you know, for a gift for a teacher, maybe for the holidays.
Holiday gift.
You know, don't give them an apple. Give them Excel for Teachers from MrExcel.com. He also has a great daily podcast with tips galore. And of course, our show notes have the spreadsheet we just demonstrated. CallForHelpTV.com. We'll take my word for it. We're going to be right back with a final wrap up, and it's going to get an A+ for sure right after this.
KD, can I have some?
What do you say?
Please?
What do you say?
Please, Mr. Universe, ruler of everything cool, magnet for all hot chicks. Including my mom, even though she's not hot to me, but most guys have admitted that they do find her attractive in a way that I'll never understand, but must overcome if I ever want a bowl of your cheesy KD.
You forgot to raise your right hand.
Buy My First is a labor of love. To see the smile in their faces once you hand them those keys, it's actually really cool. I am Armand Ardila, and I created BuyMyFirst.ca.
Every day, millions of business owners count on Vistaprint.ca to promote their business.
With Vistaprint, I've been able to find the right quality and the right breadth of goods that I need.
The easy-to-use tools and templates at Vistaprint.ca make it simple to look professional and coordinate your marketing across everything from business cards to websites to postcards and more. See how easy with 250 of our most popular cards, now new, improved, and still only $10.
So if Vistaprint and I were in business together, which we sort of are, this is what I delegate to my partner. You take care of this, and I will sell houses.
Visit Vistaprint.ca, and as an introductory offer, we'll cover the shipping for free.
I can hand it off, and I know that it's going to be done right and on time. Right and on time should be their name.
Vistaprint.ca.
When news breaks, you have to be prepared to ask tough questions and get the truth. Unfortunately, my hair and all I do to make it broadcast ready can't take the heat. Good thing I uncovered Head & Shoulders Damage Rescue. It rescued my hair and my scalp.
Head & Shoulders Damage Rescue relieves dry scalp and washes away flakes while helping to repair damaged hair.
Now I use it every day because the camera never blinks. No worries from flakes or hair issues. The proof? See it tonight at 11.
Head & Shoulders Damage Rescue.
Welcome back to Call for Help. Did you ever think of Callie Ripa as a name? That'd be a good name.
I didn't, but I like it. I'm kind of grooving
I feel
on
like
it.
Reed, you know. So I was going to ask you about cell phones, and it turns out you use a razor.
I use a freaking razor. How
But
weird
you know,
is that?
that is probably the most popular cell phone in America. So
I know.
Yeah.
Everybody has one.
Yeah. Is it really popular in Canada as well?
Yeah.
Sean, everybody's using a razor.
Yeah.
But now, believe it or not, it's kind of an old phone. It's a year old. It's kind of old.
Yeah. You know, it's Neil's phone. Neil's foot there.
You have Neil's foot as your desktop?
No, that's actually his phone.
We don't see much of Neil. We see his hand and we see his foot. That's it.
Oops.
Okay, that's good. That's wallpaper, baby. So, are you thinking about doing more phone coverage in Geek Brief?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I'm starting to get more and more interested in it. I can't wait to get the Nokia N93.
That's an interesting phone. I saw that at Podcast Expo. In fact, there was a German podcaster there, the guy who does Tips from the Top Floor, taking video that was spectacular with a phone.
Yeah.
See, for somebody like you, this would be a chance you can go in the field and you can get great video.
I'm really excited because I can take it somewhere without any thought, do a podcast, upload it, it's done.
I like that idea. I think more and more you're going to see kind of citizen journalism where you're on the scene of something and you could take good quality video.
Right.
The N93, it's not here in the States yet, but or in Canada, but I think it will be, or Australia or anywhere.
Hopefully soon.
People that I know live. Hey, folks, if you want to get on this show, go to the website, callforhelptv.com, and click that link. We'd love to get your question on here. If you've got a problem with your personal confuser,
don't whine.
Come on.
Don't yell.
Just do what Callie does. Call for help. We'll see you next time. Nice camera.
Welcome to EP Daily. Today on the show, Mary is off to see the Wizard with the cast of Oz, the Great and Powerful.
By virtue of the fact that I was playing a younger version, there was freedom to create a new side of the character.
Brianna checks in with the Academy Award-winning visual effects team behind Life of Pi.
It is a very labor-intensive process to create an animal that realistically.
Kratos thirsts for vengeance in the new prequel, God of War Ascension.
Shows what drove him to be the monster and the angry guy that we all know.
Rootin' tootin', ready for shooting. We're gonna wreck it with Ralph and the Sonar. Plus, we give you our review on the run of Oz, the Great and Powerful, and much more today on EP Daily. I'm your host, Victor Lucas, bringing you the latest in everything cool every single day. Come with me on a journey through the rundown. We're going to have to wait an extra 6 months to see Bilbo Baggins complete his unexpected journey.
I'm going on an adventure!
No. The third and final Hobbit movie from director Peter Jackson, titled The Hobbit, There and Back Again, has been delayed. It was originally slated to arrive in July 2014, which would have made it the first of Jackson's Middle-earth adventures to be released in the summer. But now Warner Brothers has decided to release it in December like its predecessors.
What of it? There are some who would not deem it wise.
The Hobbit was originally expected to be just 2 movies before being split into 3 parts. The second film, The Desolation of Smaug, will fly into theaters this December.
Fair enough.
2 alumni from the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry have graduated to new films. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Harry Potter star Daniel Radcliffe is in final talks to join the cast of the new Frankenstein movie. He'll play Igor, the hunchback lab assistant who first appeared in the 1931 Frankenstein film. Harry Potter leading lady Emma Watson might be putting on a pair of glass slippers in a new project of her own. Variety reports that she's in talks to appear in the live-action Cinderella movie based on Disney's animated classic. The Hobbit's pointy-eared elf Cate Blanchett will play the evil stepmother. I hope you like Johnny Depp because there's going to be no shortage of movies with him over the next year. The Lone Ranger's sidekick has officially joined the cast of the new science fiction movie Transcendence. He'll play a scientist who uploads his brain into a computer. The film is being produced by The Dark Knight Rises and Inception director Christopher Nolan and will mark the directorial debut of his cinematographer Wally Pfister. Batman himself, Christian Bale, is rumored to be joining Depp in the film along with Priest star Paul Bettany. After Transcendence, Johnny Depp will appear in Black Mass, a new crime thriller being helmed by the Bay director Barry Levinson. Shooting on that will begin this summer.
Someone needs to get me to the hospital!
There's some good news for anyone anxiously awaiting Anchorman: The Legend Continues. Wreck-It Ralph funny man John C. Reilly is rumored to be joining the new film. No official announcements have been made, so it's unclear if this will be a big part or just a small cameo. Whammy. Reilly previously worked with Anchorman star Will Ferrell and the film's director Adam McKay in the 2008 comedy Step Brothers. Anchorman: The Legend Continues will hit theaters on December 20th. Until then, stay classy.
Look, it's going to be a fun movie.
That's your rundown for today. Here